Hi, my name is Betty Appler. Thank you for visiting this page. I wrote a book about Parkinson disease. The name is You Are Just Like a Flower. I also have Parkinson. That's why I wrote this book. It was my intention to create hope and very important message, never give up. Parkinson is a defect. The brain doesn't produce enough dopamine anymore. Parkinson cannot be diagnosed easily, not with blood tests or at all in the lab. If you are lucky, you can find a qualified neurologist. This is the surest way to get a diagnosis. Parkinson is still incurable. It is unknown what it is caused by. However, with the right medicine, many patients can live an almost normal life for many, many years. No case is like the other. Everyone will experience it differently. It will proceed for some slower and for others faster. Laura, who this novel is about, can't believe she has been diagnosed with Parkinson. When her doctor confirmed the diagnosis, she was in shock. She offers the man in her life that she could understand if he wanted to leave her now. And he didn't waste any time to warm up a previous relationship. Laura is left alone. She didn't expect this reaction and is deeply hurt and disappointed. She falls into a deep hole. She isolates herself, withdraws from friends and family. However, when she finally faces the facts, she gets up on her feet again and makes up her mind to fight this terrible disease. She wants to find out where and how she got Parkinson. She starts searching in her past. Laura had such an exciting and interesting life. She lived many years in the United States, in Los Angeles, in a beautiful house, overlooking the Pacific, until family matters forced her to return to Germany. I would like to read a few scenes out of chapter 5. 1969 wasn't the best time to live in the USA. It was the beginning of the big racial riots, the marches to the White House, the time of Martin Luther King. It wasn't the best time to live in Washington, D.C., but it also wasn't the right time to return to Germany now. I will return to the Golden West. I will try my luck there and start a new life. My marriage with James was not a very loving one. Still, his sudden death shocked me and some terribly, but I had no time to moan and cry about it. I had 3 mouths to feed. I knew Los Angeles fairly well when we used to live in Monterey. We traveled there a few times. I found this unbelievable, big, ugly, and at the same beautiful city simply fascinating. There, and nowhere else in the world, would I want to face the challenge of starting new. I met many people in L.A. I also met Alfred. That was the beginning of the great love of my life. A love with deepest of emotions, deep feelings, unknown happiness, but also the greatest hurt, disappointments, loneliness, even hate. Everything that was possible in love and war we should experience. We couldn't live with each other, but neither without. A new chapter. I knew there was definitely something wrong with me. I was getting slow and clumsy. I had this strange tremor on the right side of my body. My step got insecure and very small. I avoided crowds. I went to see my doctor. He sent me to a neurologist right away. An odyssey of running from doctor to doctor started. It took weeks before I finally got the definite diagnosis. I have Parkinson. I felt sick to my stomach. I couldn't think a clear thought. I sat in my chair across from my doctor, unable to move. I asked her, "Are you sure?" She replied, 100%. She said, "I'm going to sign you into a Parkinson clinic." She looked into my eyes with great sympathy and said, "You will see. They will try out the best medicine for you, and you will feel much better after the doctors there have you in a perfect schedule of medication. Have a good time. You will be there about 4 weeks. Call me when you're back in town." As I walked towards my car, I had tears in my eyes, and I asked myself, how long? How long will I be able to drive my car? When I got home, I started packing my suitcases. After a while, I sat down and took a break. I got myself a glass of wine, sat in my favorite chair, and put on my headset to listen to my favorite music for a while. This was like medicine for me, a way to escape reality, and that's what I needed to do right now. Music was my greatest love. It always lifted me up again. As I sat there, I lost time and place, took a review into the past. So very much had happened in my life. I experienced so much. I lived in different continents, had several marriages behind me. Where did something go so wrong? What or who did this to me? Where did I get this terrible illness? I changed to chapter 9 in the Parkinson clinic. George and I were placed at the same table. He was sitting exactly across from me. We ate breakfast, lunch, dinner together. Sometimes after the other 4 had left us, the 2 of us stayed and talked and talked. It turned out that I really enjoyed these moments with him. George and I spent more and more time together. Almost every night after dinner, we normally took a walk. We got closer day by day. From the first moment I laid eyes on him, I felt a strange magic. I felt as if he could look into the inside of my deepest soul. He must have felt it too, because recently he started to write poems and love letters to me. He knew exactly what he was doing, and I could tell he enjoyed himself. He used all of his charm, and I loved it. The first poem he slid under my door at night, a famous poem from the author Heinrich Heine. "You're just like a flower, so proud, so beautiful, so pure. I look at you and sadness enters my heart. I feel that my hands should embrace your hair, praying that God will keep you so pure, so fine, so fair." He knew exactly what he was doing. He knew I would fall for this sweet nothings. I admit I can't resist. He knew how to talk, and I fell for these beautiful words. He made me feel wanted. And I started to bloom like a flower. This is how this story ends. Laura felt wanted again. In spite of all ups and downs, Laura suddenly felt good again. The flower that was thrown away and nearly faded started to bloom with confidence. Never give up hope. After the longest sleepless night, there will be a morning and a new day of sun. That's the end. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. Thank you for your time and attention. I recommend you to read this interesting novel very much. Thank you.